Welcome, bienvenidos. My name is Roxana, and this is AviddivA. This is the sister channel of Metamorphosis Rocks, and on Metamorphosis Rocks, we talk about commentary. We do commentary. We talk about what's happening in social media and among celebrities and stuff like that. This channel is about lifestyle, and one of the things that is lifestyles for us in the OAB is Alzheimer's, and we're going to be talking about that today. Now, the reason why I talk about these kinds of topics on this channel is because this channel is not monetized, and I can say whatever I want without having to worry about losing my income because of what I said. I am not planning on saying anything horrible. I just want to be able to express myself without having to limit myself to certain words because I'm in fear that those words are on the list and then I'll get demonetized. So, what I'm planning on doing in this, and keep in mind, let me start from the beginning. I'm going to give you like a 2-minute intro into what's happening in OAB and whatnot. OAB is a term that was coined by one of three ladies: Glowing Beauty Addiction, Nosy Hausfrau, and or Beauty Boomer. All three of them do the same thing to me. No, it was so-and-so. No, it was so-and-so. And they all blame, and they always tell me that the other two were the ones that came up with the idea. It doesn't matter. What happened was Thomas Halbert had a meltdown on Twitter and called us old ass bitches because we were defending another YouTuber who happens to be 30, but for him that's old. You have to remember that to a 5-year-old, a 20-year-old is old. So for a 20-year-old, a 30-year-old is old, and so on and so forth. I just didn't like old ass bitches. Somebody came up with OAB, one of the three people I mentioned. And so I wanted OAB to stand for something more than just old ass bitches. And I changed it to Outstanding Ageless Beauties. And I can take credit for that because I'm the one who changed it. I also the one with the merchandise link below. So anyway, this channel is for anything that has to do with the lifestyle of the OAB. And that includes second chances, whether it's at love or at a career. It includes things like Alzheimer's. It includes ailments that happen to us as we age. Sports, fashion. And yes, if I decide to go back to putting makeup on my face, it's going to be on this channel, not on the commentary channel. Let's keep them separated. So today I'm going to talk about something because it happened to me twice this weekend, or I should say twice in the last 72 hours. And I think I'm not the only one who feels that way, and it has to do with Alzheimer's. Now, if you're lucky enough that you've never had a family member or a friend with Alzheimer's, number one, consider yourself lucky because as the statistics show, you are a unicorn. You're becoming a unicorn. Number two, and more importantly, you should still watch this video because based on statistics, you will have somebody with Alzheimer's in the near future in your life. And this is a topic that most people don't want to talk about because it gets into feelings and guilt feelings and whatnot. And I want people to understand that everybody has a right to their feelings, whether they sound horrible or they are justified. And that's why I'm doing this today. This was not the video I was posting today, but this is the video that I think is more important to post today. Now, if you've been following me on social media, then you know that last weekend I was in the Orlando walk for the cure for Alzheimer's. And I actually finished it, and I was shocked for reasons that we're not going to get into on this video. But I did finish it, and I was very proud of myself. And every year I woke hoping that that's the year they announced that they found something that's actually going to cure Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is one of those diseases that it's 100% fatal. At the moment that I'm filming this in October 14, 2019, there is no cure for Alzheimer's. You get Alzheimer's, you're going to die. Now, mind you, life is 100% fatal. You're going to die. But Alzheimer's is worse than anything I've ever encountered. And I've had family members with cancer. I had a brush with cancer once. I've had family with AIDS. Some survivors, some passed away. I've had family members with all kinds of ailments, and none of them have gone through what Alzheimer's puts you through. And so, what ends up happening to family members and loved ones of people of Alzheimer's is that we are always feeling guilty. We're either feeling guilty because we don't spend enough time with our loved ones, or because we had to put them in a facility because we really can't take care of them, or because we're keeping them at home instead of giving them the care they need, or because there are moments in our lives when we wish we didn't have to deal with this. All of those feelings are legitimate, and there's nothing wrong with any of those feelings, okay? I want you to understand that none of this is your fault, and it's definitely not the fault of the person with Alzheimer's. I feel like it's kind of like the lotto. You might get it, you might not. And I feel bad for anybody that has to deal with this, because as I deal with it on a daily basis, it eats at you. On many days, it eats at you. And one of the things that happens, and this has happened to me twice in the last 72 hours, is that I've known somebody whose family member or loved one has either passed away or is about to pass away. And as I'm telling you this, one of those two people is in the process. We don't know if it's going to be right now or if it's going to be tomorrow, but we don't think this person is going to last more than a week. And here is where I want you to understand what the feelings that you go through are and how, if it's valid or not or whatever. First of all, I don't believe there's such a thing as feelings that are not valid. Unless you're being a racist or a sexist or something like that, then that's a different story. But normal human emotions are okay in this house. And by this house, I mean the channel. I've gone through every emotion, from feeling bad for my friends or family or whoever it is that is going through this, to feeling a little jealous that their loved one is not going to suffer through what I've seen my mom go through, to feeling terrible that I'm jealous that their family member is finally going to get some rest, to... I mean, there's so many emotions that you go through. And it's not like you go through, you know how they call stages of grief? And finally somebody actually came up and said, you know, you can go through from 1 to 10 to 9 to 8 to 10 to 1. You don't have an order on the stages of grief. Well, it's the same with this situation. You can spend 1 second feeling horrible for your friend. 2 seconds later, you're happy for your friend because you realize they're finally going to get a chance to live their life because they've been consumed by the life of the loved one or the family member. To, why is my mom still suffering? To, I don't want my mom to die. To everything in between. And all of those feelings are valid. You're not the only one who's going to feel that way. Pretty much everybody I know has felt that way at some point. Now, they might not say it because it's not proper to say, oh, how come your mom passed away and mine hasn't? Because that's not what you mean. But when we're speaking, sometimes we don't measure the words that we're using, and we say the most horrible things, even though that's not what we mean. So what I want you to understand is, if you decide to leave me a comment telling me, you know, my aunt and my uncle both had Alzheimer's and one of them passed away, and I was sitting there like, why can't she go with him? If you leave a comment like that, keep in mind I understand what you're trying to say. It's not that you want them to die so much as, if you live with somebody with Alzheimer's, you know how horrible this disease is, and you just want their suffering to end. And I understand that because I live it every day of my life. Now, I also live with I don't want my mom to die. And then I start thinking, the person that's in the bed might have my mom's body and might have my mom's name and might answer to my mom's name, but that's not my mom. All of those feelings are valid. There is nothing wrong with you feeling that way. Now, you might not be able to externalize those feelings to a lot of people because most people will not understand. Some people do. And what I suggest to you is, when you're feeling like that, when you're feeling like oh my God, what else is going to happen to her? You find yourself your own tribe of people that are either going through this or have gone through this, and it doesn't have to be that many. It can be one or two that can tell you it's okay. It's okay. And now keep in mind, I'm saying Alzheimer's because it's 100% fatal. This applies to anybody who has a family member who's suffering with an ailment that is pretty sure they're going to pass away. The reason why I use Alzheimer's is because Alzheimer's is 100% definitely lethal. When you have cancer, you might have that 1% and you're holding on to hope against hope. And I'm telling you because I lived that too. And so those are different feelings. They're similar because you also want their pain to end, but you're hoping that their pain will end with something that will actually bring them back. And because they're still normal here and they don't have Alzheimer's, you can bring them back. But in Alzheimer's, once they lose those memories that make them who they are, they're gone. As far as we know, as far as research has determined, those are gone. So even if they find a medicine right now that could cure my mom from Alzheimer's, she's still not going to remember who she used to be. That's the part that sucks about Alzheimer's. So I would love to know how you feel about, do you have anybody that has Alzheimer's? Do you have anything that you feel that you want to talk about, but you're afraid to talk about with people that you know because they don't understand what you're going through? Anything like that, leave it in the comment section below. I will be reviewing the comment section. And please keep it. I am not worried about cuss words and things like that on this channel like I am on the other channel. But what I want you to understand is that I want this to be a place where people feel safe. So please be nice to each other in the comments. Don't judge each other in the comments. We have plenty of places where we can judge each other. Let's not make this one of them. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.